The world runs on coffee. Few people would argue that point. Whether you reach for the can of instant in your cupboard to start your day, or swing by the local drive-thru for your favorite specialty drink, you and more than 100 million other coffee drinkers in the U.S. rely on the rich flavor and caffeine in coffee to keep your day going. Have you ever looked into your cup and wondered where all that delicious richness comes from? Chances are good that it came from here, Colombia's Coffee Triangle. Colombia is one of the biggest suppliers for the U.S. coffee market. In 2012, we imported almost 1 million metric tons of coffee from Colombia alone. The Hacienda Guayabal here in Chinchiná, Colombia, is typical of the family farms that grow coffee for export. It is a fragile business and difficult to keep profitable. Juan has been foreman here for 16 years and knows all about it.
Estamos en un área de lo que se llama Guayabal, por allá a unos 25 o a unos 100 y muchos kilómetros sobre el nivel del mar. Bueno, esto es un área muy cafetera, un clima muy bueno, muy ambiental para el café, para el plátano, para todo lo que nos rodea.
The Arabica coffee beans that are grown here are harvested only after they have ripened to a beautiful red color. Since individual beans ripen at different times, that means they must be picked by hand. A good picker will work 10 or 11 hours and harvest about 200 pounds of coffee cherries per day during the peak season. For this, they will earn less than $17 a day. It doesn't seem like much, but it is about 1/4 to 1/2 of what the hacienda will be able to sell the crop for. Each picker then takes his bags to be weighed, and his account will be credited. The pickers have finished a long day of work, but the processing of the beans has just begun and will continue through the night. It is important for the coffee cherries to be processed as soon as possible after harvesting. And so, as soon as the cherries are weighed, they are rinsed and sent through the wet milling process. This means that the outer pulp is mostly removed with a depulping machine, the beans are rinsed, and then left to soak in a vat for several hours. After the remaining pulp separates from the bean, it can be rinsed away easily, leaving the beans clean and ready to sort and dry. Because it is so humid in this area, the beans are dried using a mechanical dryer. The drying process is crucial, and one must be very careful to keep the temperature even until the moisture content inside the bean is approximately 11%. At that point, they are bagged and ready to be shipped to roasters and coffee houses around the world. If everything goes well and the market price is good, the hacienda might make a small profit. However, in recent years, everything hasn't gone so well.
Okay, the broca is the big problem at the moment because this insect arrived to Colombia approximately in the year 1985-1988. Okay, this insect is the big problem because the coffee scientific can't to find the perfect solution for to eliminate. Okay, the broca open a hole in the beans and inside deposit its eggs. She eats the beans, and this means that every coffee bean with broca is bad coffee for us. Okay, so the broca represents big lots, can I say? Big lots for the coffee.
How much percentage-wise of the crop is lost because of that?
More or less 12%. But every year, with the climate, the harvest is less with every year. To compare it to the last year, we lost 3% of coffee production compared with the last year. This because the last year we had two phenomena de la Niña, a lot of rain, and this starting this year, the phenomenon del Niño. So a lot of rain produces broca because the broca likes the rain.
The spreading of the borer beetle and the extensive rains are both the result of climate change taking place in Colombia over the last 30 years and are causing a great deal of damage and crop loss. In the last 30 years, the temperature in this area has risen 1 to 2 degrees, and rainfall has increased by 25%. This may not sound like much, but it means that flower buds fall off or are not pollinated properly, that the fruit ripens too quickly, and that insects like the borer and the leaf fungus thrive. Since most Colombian coffee is grown in small family-owned farms, the crop loss and accompanying low prices have been financially devastating. Hunger and poverty have been widespread among the workers. In the nearby town of Chinchana is also located Senecafe, the research and development arm of the Colombian Coffee Growers Federation. They have been hard at work in recent years researching solutions to the borer and other growing threats to the coffee industry. Coffee farmers are now growing new hybrids that are resistant to the plagues, practicing new farming methods, and experimenting with a species of ants and mushrooms that attack the devastating pests. It is a painfully expensive process for small farmers to replace thousands of coffee trees with the new plants, and a long wait of 3 to 5 years until they are mature enough to produce a crop. However, Colombia's research is leading the industry worldwide. Just 2 years ago, the borer began to invade the famous Kona coffee plantations in Hawaii, and so now the U.S. is looking to Colombia to learn from their knowledge and experience. As the world changes, we are facing the increasing need to work together, because what affects some of us will eventually affect us all.